Welcome back to my channel. So I started recording a video and I just wanted to talk about my background as far as like my weight, but I felt like I was getting kind of like monotone and kind of like long-winded like I tend to be. So in this video I'm just going to try to give a brief synopsis of issues with my weight and me embarking on a new weight loss journey and why. So growing up, I was pretty much an average sized kid. I had some small weight fluctuations around probably like 7th or 8th grade, maybe like 10 to 15 pounds heavier than like my friends. But you know, at that age, if you're just a little bit different, you feel like it's like the biggest thing in the world. But looking at pictures, it absolutely was not. Like, I was pretty average size. And then my weight like went back down when I got involved in more like extracurricular activities like dance and track and stuff like that. So pretty just much maintained my weight through high school until my senior year. And in my senior year, I was in a work study program, and so basically half of the school day was dedicated to me working in relation to doing something that I wanted to pursue career-wise, because the program that I was in, it was a 2-year program. So junior year was like based on business and marketing, and then senior year was work study. So I worked in a pretty popular like teeny bopper retail store because at the time I wanted to pursue fashion design. I did go to college for that, but I ended up changing course and majoring in journalism. And with the second half of my day being work, I would have like an hour and a half or so to like get to work. And so in that time, because I was working in the mall, I was hitting the food court for lunch. So I was eating a lot more processed food. And like in my household, my mom was very like she was very like health conscious, and so we did not eat a lot of processed food. That wasn't our thing. Like, my mom was a runner. Like, she would juice wheatgrass. She would go to like the like health food stores. I didn't really grow up eating a lot of processed food. That wasn't something that we did on a regular basis. It was like more of a treat. So going from that to eating like a lot of processed food pretty much every day. And then I also stopped doing track and field because the time that I would get off of work for work study was like around like 5 o'clock. Doing any sport in school and high school, it was like directly after the end of the day. So those two kind of conflicted. Well, they did conflict. So I stopped doing track. So me not having any more activity plus increasing all of those processed foods, I gained quite a bit of weight over the course of my senior year. I would say probably about 30 pounds. Now looking back on photos during that time, yeah, I wish I could be there. I think that's like most people. Like, I would love to be in that place again. At that time, I was just like, oh my gosh, I've gained so much weight. Yeah, no. So I say all that to say is that kind of started my yo-yoing with dieting and my weight. And so fast forward to my first year of college, I moved to Chicago. I'm like excited about like getting the weight off. Most people, you know, you have the freshman 15, and I actually lost weight. The housing that I was living in was student housing, but it was like in an apartment. So on the north side, really nice apartment, doorman, gym, convenience store, all of that. So I would work out at the gym before I went to my classes. And so doing that plus slowing down on the processed food, I was like cooking more. By the time that I went back home for that first winter break, I lost all the weight that I had gained. So again, that just started the yo-yoing because eventually I maintained that weight for probably about like 2 years, and then eventually like ticked up and then just started the cycle of yo-yoing all through my adulthood. So now I am 39. I have 2 children, and if you haven't watched like previous videos, I was laid off earlier this year, so life has been lifing, and finding a job is an emotional roller coaster. And yeah, I've been gaining weight like pretty consistently over the last few years, but I think everything over the last year is kind of like ticked up more, and now I'm at the highest weight that I've ever been, which I weighed myself this morning and I was at 303 pounds, 303.4 to be exact. And I never thought that I would see my weight being over 300 pounds, but it just explains like why I am feeling the way that I'm feeling in my body. I feel stuffed in my body. Over the last few years, I've had issues where I've had like flare-ups with sciatica, which, why am I having those issues? I'm in my 30s, why am I having those issues? And now my knees are like starting to hurt. Like it hurts my knees if I do too much, and I have like I'm starting to have like limited mobility as far as like my knees are concerned, not with like me getting around and moving about, but you know, like when your joints hurt, like it's a lot. So just weighing myself today and seeing that number and not feeling like the best in my body, I'm just like, okay, I need to try to do something about it. So I am going to do a 30-day challenge, and I have been thinking about doing like the 75, not 75 hard, but doing like a 75 soft challenge. But I think I just want to initially start with doing a 30-day challenge just so I can like get acclimated and get into the swing of things, and hopefully I'll see some immediate change based on what I'm doing in the challenge. So what I plan on doing in the challenge is to have some movement every day. My goal is to hit between 8,000 to 10,000 steps per day. So even on the days where I'm not working out, I still want to be like in active rest, which will probably mean for me just doing like normal housework around the house, like, you know, when you're cleaning and stuff like that. That's usually how I get steps in on the weekends, and maybe going for like a small walk outside, or well, for active rest days, probably just like going for a walk or like using my walking pad. I just purchased a walking pad to get those steps in. But I would like to also work out 6 days a week, and for the next 30 days, I would like to work out 6 days a week for 30 minutes. Like my mind instantly wanted to say an hour, but the last time that I tried to do that, I stopped working out because I was so exhausted. So we're going to scale it back, and because I want this to be a sustainable change, and I know I'm going to have to pretty much be active for the rest of my life if I want to remain healthy. So I don't want to burn myself out. So, excuse me, I keep looking at the viewfinder. 30 minutes, 6 days a week. The next thing that I want to accomplish with this challenge is to avoid eating out, which is difficult for me because typically I eat out 2 times a week on Friday and Saturday. But I think I need to like cut that out so that I can have more control of what I'm consuming. So I will be aiming to make meals for myself. Like even if my family is eating out, I'm going to make meals for myself. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I want to focus on for the next 30 days. Today is August 29th. So I will be, I think I'm going to officially start on the 31st, which will be a Sunday.